in the ass.
We're live, dude.
Are you live?
Wait, what?
You're
You're
Do
live?
it. You're on the spot right now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of Desire of Wrestling, where somebody and someone will get fucked right in the ass.
Looking at you, Weston.
I am the host, Stage Man, and we got ourselves a big championship rematch. Introducing first the challenger from some place called Texas that I don't know of. Here is
Oh, that was my part.
Weston.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
Wrestling with Reality, which I made a funny video. Let's just say I don't see nothing wrong with wanting to bump and grind Cage. But
and then we got the challenger, the champion from where are you from again? I forget about it. His name is the Variety Vending Machine, the Desire of Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Ed.
Hello. And I'm back, and I will retain the championship, and will beat you one more time, Weston, to shut you up for good.
you have the charisma of donkey shit, dude.
Yeah, well,
And then we have,
more than yours.
and then we also have another host. Her name is Tiffany. Say what's up to the
Hello.
people.
Hello.
Sweet. And
I
then
can hear you.
and then we can start the show because some guy named Adam didn't show up. Let's all take a moment of silence.
It's okay. He would have dropped anyway. Terrence, you know what we do, right? Let's do a 10 bell salute for Adam, shall we?
Ding.
All right, let's continue. Let's just continue. Yeah, taking way too long. So Terrence, continue. Go ahead.
Now, well, for those who have not watched any of these episodes, I don't know what you're waiting for, but if you're new, please subscribe to this channel and all that great stuff. But here is the championship rematch. I and Tiffany will be the host and will be the judges for each question that I will give to the. Apparently, there is background noise over there. But that's all right. Anyways,
Tiffany's like Paige right now, man. She's making a lot of noise.
oh my God, too soon. All right,
Are you
but
live?
anyways, so well, here's the championship rematch, and I'll be asking these competitors 5 questions, and whoever has the most points will become the champion. If it becomes a tie, then we get to the speed round, and we'll just go on from there. I just hope nothing happens like Adam showing up, because he kills the mood.
Are you live?
Yeah. So are you guys ready?
Let's get to it.
I said, are you ready?
Let's get to it.
Yes.
Adam is the Kurt Hawkins of Desire.
Let's get ready to rumble. All right, let me pick one of these questions, man, because I picked a shitload of them. All right, so let me just look at my notes up here. All right, so the first question. All right, so you guys ready? And this is gonna be the champion will go first. Do you think WWE will be better off without Vincent Kennedy McMahon? If so, who should take his place? And by the way, you get about 5 minutes max for each question. And then after both the guys get to say their piece, there's a rebuttal. And after that, we'll decide the winner. None of this 10 hours of saying the same old shit crap. I'm
Okay.
talking to you, Ed.
All right. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I'll say yes. They would be better off without Vince McMahon right now, and the guy to take over should be Triple H.
Why is that?
Okay. Well, Vince McMahon has. We can't take anything away from him. He's a freaking legend in every sense of the word, and not just that, but he's changed wrestling, greatly. But right now, I think he's very much out of touch and way has been breathing too much of the same oxygen in his bubble to the point where he really doesn't know what's hip, what's popular, what really can, revive the WWE to its glory days. He's pretty much what Vern Gagne was back in the 80s, and that's what killed the AWA. So Triple H is definitely the right guy, and he's not just that, but he's been in the trenches with Vince enough to know how to evolve and but still keep the same vision that Vince McMahon always had for the wrestling business. So that's the reason why I think that Triple H is the guy, and he will definitely make the wrestling business as a whole a better product.
All right, West.
I actually took a minute to think about this question. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water because it's gonna be a long explanation. But yeah,
It better be that long.
so no, WWE would not be better without Vince McMahon, honestly. If you look at everyone on the current business side of things in WWE, none of them compare to Vince McMahon, even now. I don't get down the whole thing of explaining what Vince McMahon has done for the wrestling business, but even if you look today, he's still, he's a little bit out of touch, but he still knows what today's all about. He's nostalgic acts, which is why he keeps going to Goldberg, Triple H, even Brock, counts as nostalgic, really. So yeah, sometimes he may not make the right decision, but he's still got it. He still knows how to run a business and everything. And on top of that, if you look at the roster he has, I got a question: is it really Vince that's out of touch, or is it just that the roster's not that good? Because let's be honest, this is probably the worst roster Vince has had to work with, probably ever. And the fact that he can still get you to pay attention to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on a weekly basis and still make you pay your money for some of the shows, that's just amazing. And right now, I don't see anyone taking his spot as the main guy in WWE. Closest to Triple H, but if you're telling me that he can do what Vince does, you're crazy. Vince is he's the brilliant billionaire for a reason, dude.
All right. Now it's time for you, to you schmucks, to friggin' rebuttal.
All right. The reason why I think Triple H would be a better successor for Vince McMahon, and he would definitely be the guy that deserves to take over the reign as soon as possible, is because you look at NXT, and a lot of people will not watch WWE programming and be like, oh no, NXT is actually a lot better. The product is much better because it's much more simple and it's much more straightforward. And not just that, but the characters, they identify with them much better, and that's because of Triple H. He's so much hands-on NXT, and that is like the future of WWE once he takes over, and we know that's inevitable. And as for Vince, yes, he is very out of touch. And when people, were really down on Roman Reigns and saying, like, his promos sucked and stuff like that, the whole, nursery rhymes and stuff like that, that was Vince. Vince was the one that was writing those promos for Roman. And not just that, but, Seth Rollins' sparkle crotch, stuff, he was so into that stupid humor that is just, it's from the 80s. It's so old, and it doesn't work in 2017. all the stupid humor and all of that, and the worn out segments is all because of frickin' Vince McMahon. And now you're saying that SmackDown and Raw, like, we're still invested in both shows. Not really. We're more invested on SmackDown, and it's not because of Vince. It's because of the creative team. The creative team on SmackDown is much better than on Raw, and that's the reason why. And at the end of the day, Vince McMahon is the guy that has the final word. And I think that Triple H should have that right. And hey, Vince can be a consultant. He can still be, hey, every once in a while, hey, Vince, what do you think we should do here? Do you think we should go this way or that way? You'd be like, I'll give you advice on this little thing here and there. But in the meantime, I'll just go fishing. But as for Triple H, he should be hands-on 24/7. He's the guy that should take over the reign.
First off, let's be real. We have no idea how good Triple H actually is as a promoter. Because let's be real, if it wasn't for NXT being under the WWE bandwagon, NXT would probably be on the same level as What Culture Pro Wrestling. Literally, they would be just that promotion that's whatever. Another thing is NXT has actually become somewhat irrelevant over the past few months or so. Nobody really talks about NXT unless you're talking about the takeovers. And also, Triple H is the guy that wants to push Roman Reigns. And a lot of people, they say that that's not the right decision or whatever. So again, Triple H, yeah, you can say, oh, from what NXT, he could be this and that. But reality is, dude, the main things people bitch about is Triple H moves, dude.
Can I have water, please?
Back and forth. You're just a judge. You roll. Yeah.
I got something on my chest. So.
All right. Once Weston is done, then you can say something, Tiff. All right?
Okay. Please.
Fuck. But anyway, fuck. What was your first thing there? Ed, what you said?
About what? What part?
About the part where you said why Triple H is better than Vince.
Okay. The fact that Vince McMahon is out of touch. That he was writing Roman Reigns' promos.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the sparkle crotch thing, you can say it was goofy and whatnot, but it did get over, no matter which way you put it. A lot of Vince McMahon's ideas still get over. I mean, hell, he's the creator of the New Day. Look at them; they're pretty much the most over thing, especially on Raw. And also, Vince McMahon originally wanted a Big E. People love Big E, so there's a lot of controversial moves by Triple H that people are just they're so blind they just want to blame it on Vince.
Can you say that one more time, Weston? Because I didn't hear you. It was a little bit choppy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Basically what I said is even the goofy stuff that Vince does gets over, like the sprocker crotch thing. And also Vince wanted Big E, and Roman running Triple H, and a lot of people love Big E. So is Vince McMahon really that out of touch? And on top of that, like I pointed out before, he's working with a roster that let's be honest, they don't have the charisma or the personality or anything major like that. And the fact that Vince is able to stay in the mainstream with the roster he's got proves a lot. So yeah, Vince is the billionaire, the brilliant billionaire.
Yeah.
All right.
Terrence, have you heard enough, or do you want us to fight more?
You guys have well, I've heard enough, but you guys have any more
My
final comments?
my final thoughts would be Triple H is precious NXT would be nowhere without the Vince's WWE, yeah. And also, like I've said previously, Vince can get
Okay. My final point would be saying that NXT would be nothing without Vince's WWE. It's like saying Vince's WWE wouldn't be nothing without his father's WWF. So you got to build from somewhere. And, not just that, but the New Day is not Vince McMahon's idea. It was them coming up to creative and saying, "Hey, give us a shot, and we'll either make it or break it." Because Kofi was directionless, Big E was directionless, Xavier Woods was directionless, and they pretty much came up with the idea all together. It wasn't Vince at all. So that's my
And
final.
I just want to say, yeah, that is true. His dad did start the company, but Vince is the one that grabbed it and put it on a big level that most promoters can only dream of. So regardless of whether his dad started it or not, he still got it to levels that not even his dad thought were possible.
And I could say the same thing about Triple H.
No, you can't. He would be nothing without the
He's
WWE.
created,
Well, I mean,
he's created a territory system right now with Evolve
yes, but
and
that would be
and NXT
that would
and every
hold
other
on, hold on.
company.
That would not be as big as it is right now if it wasn't under the WWE umbrella, and that's a fact.
Vince McMahon killed territories. Triple H is creating territories. That's all I got to
Because
say.
that's called not really. I mean, even Triple H admitted he had to get the green light from Vince, so Vince is actually helping create territories as well. And on top of that, the territories he did take out were fucking brilliant business moves because he knew if he took those territories out, that his business would look a lot more bigger and important than theirs. And what happened? It worked.
It's not. It's killing the business. The fact that there are no territories is the reason why
How
guys
is it
like
killing business? Hey,
it's the reason why a lot of like WWE guys aren't really getting the characters that they need. They can't go to other territories to hone their
Over
craft.
there.
you admit it that Vince is basically working with the weak roster. Thank you. And also, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Vince is killing wrestling. The only wrestling promotion that's relevant in the mainstream is WWE, and the rest of the promotions are going nowhere because they don't know how Vince is.
Because there are no territories. But okay,
Hold
Terrence,
on.
just give us a final ruling.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard a lot of good points. I'm not gonna lie, but this is pretty tough though. I don't know why I made the first question pretty tough though. I'm not gonna lie. um, Ed made some good points. Weston made some good points, but I have to ultimately choose Weston's choice, but not by much. Um, Reason because again, you guys made some good points, but I think even Ed kind of admitted one point there too. He says that you were talking about the whole Raw and SmackDown stuff, right? And I think that's where the point where I kind of just lean towards Weston. Weston said that uh, Vince, in a lot of ways, made Raw and SmackDown the way it is in terms of being talked about and all that kind of stuff. And you said that only SmackDown is only being good because of creative. Well, just so you know, sure, creative may be involved in the show, but who ultimately makes the final say of the whole show? It's Vince McMahon. So everything that's good or bad is ultimately been done by Vince McMahon. Sure, there may be other influences, but it's always at the end of the day, it's always Vince McMahon's call. So kind of just it's once, and even you mentioned that too in your point too, that at the end of the day it's Vince's call. So yeah, so I give my point to Weston. But a very good debate in this first question though.
Sure. Tiffany, do you have anything else to say?
I have my point is to Triple H. That's who I agree with Ed. I agree with Ed 100. He's got it on the dot. But guess what? I'll have you to know that Vince did not book the show that Finn Balor won the championship belt, in which that has been the best Raw since the rest of it has been mediocre or garbage
Wait,
or
you're
half and
saying
half. But
Wait,
Triple H booked that whole show, and has been the best Raw since drafted.
So let me get this
wait,
straight, Judge.
wait,
You're grading.
wait.
You're grading who's right based on one show, pretty much.
I know, but that's what I wanted to. No, I'm not grading him. I'm just telling you what was on my chest whenever.
I will say, I knew right out
That's
the
like
gate who
that
were
was
you
some of
gonna
my
say was
thoughts.
gonna win because Smarks are predictable like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Wait,
But no,
but
I wasn't. I wasn't based. I said I agree with him 100%. That means he. I have nothing else to say. He already said pretty much everything I would have said, really. But I was just saying that off my chest. Triple H has booked the best Raw in a long time, and the
I
rest
can't really
after that
say.
has been.
I can't really say Triple H is the only person that booked that Raw because ultimately what goes on the main roster is by Vince. You know, sure, you can even say Triple H had somewhat of an influence, but at the end of the day, Vince McMahon, you know, he makes the ultimate
Well,
call.
I don't. I think he
So
let Triple H have that one. I
I
believe
think
anything. I believe that anything that is happening good on Raw that Triple H does because Vince has taken away and crapped on Triple H's ideas. He's bashed NXT before,
I can't really
and
say that too.
any Triple H project, Vince has literally flushed down the toilet. Damien Sandow being for him.
Roman Reigns. That's a Triple H product.
In
What
fact,
is he
the
doing?
WrestleMania 32 main event,
Well,
the Shield,
that's the only bad one.
The
No, it's
Shield,
not.
Well,
like
actually, no, it's not because I don't care. I like Reigns.
Finn Balor, Baron
Um,
Corbin, Kevin Owens. I can go on and on.
yeah, I know that's not the only project, but I'm just saying that
I
Bray
know, but
Wyatt.
you're making it sound as if everything Triple H pitches to Vince, he just shuts it down. When in reality, that is dramatically false.
well, a good portion of it is true
No, it's
too.
not even a good portion of it. Triple H was for NXT. He gave him NXT. Triple H was for pushing on the main roster.
Either
He let
way,
him push
either
main
way,
roster.
This is not Tiffany versus Weston. This is freaking yeah, the
either
Variety
way.
Vendor versus Wrestling with Reality. So let's
Yes.
just move on to the second question.
Let's just move on to the second question. But it was a very well debate. I'm just
Right.
saying. All right, cool. So the second question is there's a shitload of questions that I have done. So let's just pick one. All right. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one here. Besides Brett versus Owen, which which is the best opening match for WrestleMania in history?
Okay.
Uh, in your opinion,
All right.
Weston, I'll start with you.
Oh, of course
So,
you start with me because I have fucking bad memory. Jesus Christ.
well, it's one
Uh,
one right now. Come on.
it's
Get out.
technically 1-0.
Get out.
Whatever. Um, fuck. Why do you gotta ask these difficult questions, dude?
It's
Like
not
shit
really
that
that It's not really
it
that difficult.
really is, dude. I don't spend all my days on the WWE Network, dude.
You don't need to.
Yeah, you kind of do because it helps refresh your memory and shit. But yeah. Jesus Christ.
You want me to come back to you, man?
I'd rather get rid of this question. Ah, fuck. What do you think, Ed? Should we get rid of this question or go on with it? Let's see if the two competitors agree.
I'd go with whatever the judge is saying.
Well, like you said last time, Weston. My question. I'm the host. My rules.
All right. Fuck it. I'll go with this one that I was thinking of.
Which is
Sorry, I thought you were gonna Ed first. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan and Triple H.
okay. Why?
Because there was a great story going into it. It was also a great match. The fans have really invested in it, which they were anything Daniel Bryan was in. Also, the game played a great heel. Praise God. Also, it got the crowd really invested in the story that was going to be told, that was going to be finished in the main event, man. And it was a part of one of the greatest. It actually went on to basically create arguably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Not only did it make sense, it wasn't, and the other thing about Triple H and Daniel Bryan, it wasn't just some random match that just so happened to be good out of chance. It literally made sense. It was awesome. It went on to create, arguably, like I said, one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And people are still talking about it today. So, yeah. I don't know what Ed's going to choose, obviously, but yeah.
All right, what about you, Ed?
Okay. This was really tough, but I have to go with.
Guys, I'm very sorry. I might have to let you guys go.
It's cool.
As you hear, my son is just going crazy left and right. I don't even know anymore, guys. He does this every time I get on the phone with somebody.
Well, he's definitely invested into Desire of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go as the best opening match besides Bretton Owen. I'll go with the Money in the Bank match from WrestleMania 23. Because it's first off, it's one of the most underrated WrestleManias, and second, it's one of the most underrated Money in the Bank matches, ever. Because and not just the Money in the Bank, a ladder match. You had all future main eventers, and not just main eventers, but guys that would carry the company for the next, 5 to 7 years. You had CM Punk, you had Edge, you had Randy Orton, and you had the Hardy Boys, you had King Booker, you had Mr. Kennedy. So you had all these guys in this match, and it was also CM Punk's first match. So whenever people would go back and watch and be like, oh, what was Punk's first WrestleMania? What was his first WrestleMania match? And it's this match, and it was definitely a star-making match, and it was also one of the reasons why Money in the Bank should definitely be a WrestleMania staple. It's just it's one of those things that would start the show really hot, but not to the point that it would steal the show away from the main event. And with the WrestleMania, with the match that Weston came up with, the Triple H versus Daniel Bryan match, I would say it was the best match on the card. Because it started off really, really strong, but everything else is just, it doesn't benefit from that. And an opening match should always be, it shouldn't take away from an opening act should never take away from, the main band, which would definitely kill the ticket sales and everything. So the Money in the Bank match itself, it was a great start, and it kept the flow of the match going, and the fans kept on hot throughout the show, and that's exactly what an opening match should be. And that's the reason why I have to go with the Money in the Bank match from WrestleMania 23.
Sweet. Now rebuttal.
First off, you should know this, being a hardcore wrestling fan yourself, but people were definitely invested all throughout the show for WrestleMania 30. And also, like I said, Triple H, again, it wasn't just a great match by chance, which is what the Money in the Bank ladder match was. It just so happened to be a good match, but it didn't really do anything for WrestleMania, if we're being honest. When people talk about WrestleMania 23, they mainly talk about Trump versus Vincent Kennedy McMahon and the hair versus hair match. They also talk about Taker and Batista, but that's it. Nobody talks about that. That starts of the show. And you say, oh, there was a lot of great people that were going to become, great wrestlers in the future. Let's be honest, Mr. Kennedy, mediocre. CM Punk, yeah, he was good, but then he took his ball and went home. Randy Orton, okay. Finley, yeah, whatever. Matt Hardy, sure, at the last minute in TNA. King Booker, whatever. Jeff Hardy, yeah, and Edge, yeah. See, those only like what 3 guys that actually ended up being something, and half of them aren't even WWE anymore. Uh, and also Daniel Bryan and Triple H was such just the whole story with Daniel Bryan and Triple H going into that whole show. Think about this: Undertaker lost his streak on that show, and the fans are quiet. But the first match was so good, but people were so invested into the feud to the point where as soon as Daniel Bryan came out towards the main event, people were on their feet and cheering. You know how hard that is to do for opening match to set that up? It's incredible. You know, and people are going to talk about it until probably the day we die. Because, again, the Daniel Bryan versus the Authority angle was just so great. And like I said, the opening match at WrestleMania 23 didn't do that. It didn't really do anything, to be honest. Except for, hey, Mr. Kennedy's Money in the Bank holder. Yay.
Is that it?
You read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Triple H and Daniel Bryan match, it was a great match, but it started off, the show started off with the main event, the match that everybody was looking forward to the most. Okay. The match that I picked was a match that started off the show really hot, and you're saying like, oh my God, everybody was standing up, like that's really hard to do for an opening match. Not really. People were standing on their feet for freaking Chris Masters and Carlito against Kane and the Big Show for WrestleMania 22. It's not that hard to get the fans invested into an opening match. It always depends on how you book the match, you know, throughout. You know, are they going to still be standing on their feet by the end or not? Now with the WrestleMania 23 opening match, the Money in the Bank match. Now you're talking about, oh, CM Punk took his ball and went home. Yeah, but he's still a big star even today, and where people are still chanting his name throughout the shows where he's not even there. King Booker, he's a freaking Hall of Famer right now, and he's still, you know, prominently featured in pre-shows and everything else. You know, who else? Matt Hardy freaking reinvented himself last year. Jeff Hardy's still a big name, and everybody still wants to see them back in the WWE. Mr. Kennedy, mediocre. Okay, fine. Cool, you're gonna think that he's mediocre, but he's still. It doesn't change the fact that he was still on the rise back then, and he was the winner of that Money in the Bank. Now, just because people don't talk about it that much doesn't make it not a great match. Hey, not many people talk about Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart from King of the Ring '93, but hey, it is a great match. There are a lot of great hidden gems out there. It doesn't mean that it's not great just because not many people are talking about it today. It's just because, you know, there is just so many matches out there and you can't really cover them all on, you know, shows. Fuck, nobody talked about like Daniel Bryan against Triple H. Everybody, like, whenever they talk about WrestleMania 30, they would say like the rise of Daniel Bryan. They never say like, oh, that great match that he had with Triple H, or like even in the main event, like even some people thought that, oh, that match was good, and even after the show, people are like, oh, that's. We don't really agree. Like Daniel Bryan was being booked like Superman, you know, winning 2 matches, you know, in a row. It's just like, no, he beat Evolution, and just like, yeah, Daniel Bryan, we're starting to hate him. So as for the Money in the Bank match, it was a great match. People were standing on their feet, and one of the biggest highlights is when Jeff Hardy jumped off the ladder. I know it's, of course, Jeff Hardy jumps off at the top of the ladder and breaks, you know, edges back through that ladder. It's still, you know, a highlight, highlight moment in that match. Was there a highlight moment in Daniel Bryan versus Triple H? Not really. Everybody.
Yeah, there was.
Okay. What was it? What was the highlight moment of that match? What was the moment that everybody was like, "Holy shit!" and stood up on their feet?
That moment where Daniel Bryan was getting ready for the Psycho knee. Triple H said everyone was on their feet. Yes, like doing it as he was doing it in the ring, and then he hit him with the Psycho knee and pinned him 1, 2, 3. And people were like, "Oh my god!"
How many video packages have you seen that in? You don't see that the Jeff Hardy and jumping off the ladder onto Edge. It keeps on showing again and again and again. Whenever you're showing like Edge moments or Jeff Hardy moments at WrestleMania, you see that. So that lives in infamy.
Daredevil. That's what companies do. They hype these guys up as Daredevil.
Still, it's still being prominently featured. So That
Yeah,
match
because
right
number one,
there,
a lot of the guys are still wrestling.
it's my moment right now. That Money in the Bank match, yes, it's not talked about as much, but still, it doesn't change the fact that it's a great match. As for your Dan Bryan versus Triple H match, I will say it is a great match, but it's still it's not talked about as much, and not also. The other thing is, it's not as great of a match as the Money in the Bank match. So there you go.
Uh, yeah, it is. And you're talking about how a lot of these guys went on to become great things. Hello, Triple H and Daniel Bryan are considered legends. Hell, I'll go and damn say they're fucking 2 Hall of Famers because they will be in the Hall of Fame one day. Both of them. And on top of that, the ladder match, guess what? They didn't have to fight the streak. Okay? They could not keep people invested all the way until the streak ended. That everything else would have been fucking. Oh my god! We're so focused on the streak. Who cares about everything else? Daniel Bryan and Triple H was such a good opening match that it kept the fans invested, even over the streak ending. Just think about that for a minute.
It didn't happen after the streak. Okay, after the streak ended, it happened
No,
before the streak. So
the
point is, people were invested going into the match. Like if it was after the streak, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have been as invested.
You're not getting the point.
Okay? It would have been killed. And as for the money in the bank match, there was also a better streak match on the show. There was Batista against The Undertaker, which is a better match.
You're not getting the point. You're really not.
So it's still like even when people would look back at WrestleMania 23, look at like they would look at it from top to bottom. They're like, "Holy shit, this was actually a great WrestleMania. How come it's not being put in the conversation of being in the top 10 greatest WrestleManias of all time?" They had that great Money in the Bank match. They got that Batista versus Undertaker match. They keep talking about that Money in the Bank match. So,
all right.
Dude, who cares, dude? We're not talking about what was the best WrestleMania overall. We're talking about the best opening. So the other matches are kind of irrelevant to the fact. The only reason why I threw in the streak in there is because it's true. You can't deny.
Mm-hmm.
have you heard enough, Terrence?
Yeah, and I already picked my winner, but I gotta wait for Weston.
But anyway, yeah. I'll just make my last point saying this. Again, Daniel Bryan and Triple H were so good, and Ed doesn't even get the point. What I'm trying to say here, which was the fact that the streak could have killed the entire show pretty much. But the opening match was so good to the point where the fans were still invested after the fact. So this is the part where I drop the mic, and I'll take like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. I already got my point on this particular question. Should I just say who won, or should I just wait for Weston?
I don't
No,
know.
I'll just wait for Weston. I don't want to make this more of a surprise.
All right, cool.
Do 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 do. That's all right.
I'm back as well, guys. If you didn't
Alright.
notice, I finally calmed my little boy down. He was having a meltdown. Sorry.
All right. Cool.
Well, you made it back in time. We're about to rule the second question.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Who
speak up a
was the
little bit
other
more.
choice besides Daniel Bryan and Triple H? So
The Money in the Bank match from WrestleMania 23.
Or Kennedy
Okay.
won. Yeah. I'm actually gonna go with my pick for this particular question, and I thought you guys made some solid points. But I have to go with Ed on this one. The reason why I go with Ed on this question was because, and I think Weston, you even tried to claim that Ed probably missed the point of this question as well, was I talked about which was the best opener in the entire show. And you mentioned Daniel Bryan and Triple H. You know that was a great pick and all, but you kept mentioning the whole. It kept the fans more invested even after the streak. But that was the main event match, not the Triple H and Daniel Bryan stuff.
No,
Everything
are
that
you
happened before,
telling me
everything
that
that
there was a sport that the fans were invested in the opening match of WrestleMania 23? Maybe they were getting off their
and
shit.
here's another thing as well. Ed did make a good point. He made a good point is that sometimes if you have an opening match that tends to be so great, it tends to somewhat overshadow everything else in the entire show.
But
Which
that
that's what
match didn't overshadow anything. It was just perfect. Like I said, it even went on to set up the basically Evolution versus Daniel Bryan main event. And I don't know how to be honest.
well, Tiffany, what do you think? Who do you think gets the point here?
Okay.
So
I liked him. He made,
yeah, I my point goes to Ed. S-
I
Sweet.
agree, Tiffany. So
Hmm? Oh, I go with the Money in the Bank.
Awesome.
figures.
All right, so what is it? What 3-1 now? All right, so now let's go to the next question here. All right, let's see here. Tip.
Hold on, I just Weston, can you talk a little bit because the last time your mic was a little bit choppy.
Yeah, sorry, my family's pretty much was trying to piss me off, but I'm here.
Oh, okay. It's better now, by the way.
Thank you.
Hmm. I want to choose the second question, but that sounds more of a speed round question. Um. All right, I'll go with it anyways. Whew. All right, so I'm gonna go with this question here, even though it's more or less just it's a you know a two-way question, I suppose. So, do you think the Shield were better off as a stable or as individuals,
Okay.
and why?
We should
Well,
go
Ed, I'll
first.
start. Ed, I'll start with you.
Okay. The Shield are better off as a stable. And I think the reason why is because like everybody pretty much says is like they're always better when they're as a unit, and they definitely work off well together, and they're always considered as like an pretty much like an army, all three of them, and they are definitely considered as the one of the greatest factions of all time. I would, in my opinion, like they're definitely like my favorite faction of all time. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I'd say like the Shield are better off as a stable. And I have more points, but I'll give the floor to Weston because I'll keep that for the rebuttal.
All right. What about you, Weston?
I'm gonna have to say as singles competitors, yeah, seeing them in a group would be cool, but at the same time, let's be honest, it's not gonna help them accomplish anything in their career or advance anything. You know what I mean? Like, pretty much, if you put the Shield together, yeah, they'll be relevant for a little while until that next face comes around, and they just become another faction. And also,
Weston. I
can you hear
said,
me?
yeah, I can hear you, but I think you're kind of missing the question here. I didn't say that would it be
I
better if they
know,
were a team. I said,
I am. I was basically going into a slight rebuttal and then going into my point.
I was basically saying, were they better off when they were a team, or are they better off as individuals? You're mentioning like as if they were gonna come back together, you know. But
Oh,
anyway,
fuck. I don't know.
but yeah, you said you chose that they're better off as individuals, but
No, 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 no,
go
no. Now
ahead.
that you want it like that, I'm not sure.
What do you mean now you're not sure? Come on.
Because Well, for starters, I already know Tiffany's gonna say Ed won because he just picked the stable, and that's what Smarks are talking about. So that's what we're gonna go with.
Come
Uh,
on, trust me. This is I chose this question for a reason. It's not one of those questions where it's one side heavy. You know what I mean? It's actually you can actually go with one.
well, yeah. It's not supposed to be one side heavy, but it really is. Just for the slight
Trust
flag
me, it
that Tiffany's
isn't.
already gonna give Ed the point. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Tiffany, you're a good person, and all, but you're as predictable as Subway. Because they
How
all sell
can
sandwiches.
how can you read my mind?
Because
How do you know?
all the other rest of the questions I did, because I know Smarks, dude.
I'm not smart.
That's what a Smark would say.
It's not Weston. Weston,
No.
just answer the
I
question.
just feel like I'm more. I feel like I'm more or less in a handicap match, dude. And this debate has been really unfair.
Weston is turning into Adam.
No, I'm not, dude. At least I got a. At least, dude, I'm like Adam. I actually can say I'm a former champion. So yeah. And
Dude, enough of the bitch fest. Just answer the question.
It's not a bitch fest. It's just the truth. I'm in a handicap match. So this is really unfair, especially since you could beat my streak of being the longest reigning champion.
Anymore then.
All right, I feel much better then. But yeah, glad to have you here. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna go with as singles competitors
Okay.
because whether people like it or not, these three guys, even though they pretty much have. I mean, they've had pretty good booking. I'm not gonna lie, they've had pretty good booking, but some people would probably say that they could do better. But truth be told, they always have like this thing around them where you have to pay attention to what they do. I mean, think about it. I'm not really that big a fan of Dean Ambrose, but I'm invested in what he does because he has like that almost like not really like Shield stigma, but just more or less like he's just an important deal. You know what I mean? Because of what he's done in the past. Um, and also, Roman Reigns. Oh my God, dude, this name should be the trend. Like he was not trending this big in the Shield, dude. Like yeah, people liked him in the Shield and whatnot, but dude, this dude, everyone talks about him, whether they want to admit it or not. He's the trend Roman Reigns, man. Like no matter what he does, people pay attention to everything he does. Rather Smarks would admit it or not, they would be pissed if Seth Rollins got back in the Shield. They really would, because then after a while it would become, oh, they're holding back Seth. And also, Seth again is one of those guys you pay attention to whatever he does because because everyone knows that Triple H considers him a big deal. And look at all the matches they've been in as against each other. Look at all the matches that they pulled off with other competitors. I mean, these guys are just way better off as singles competitors, and also you can make more money with three different wrestlers. Cause you can create three types of different merch than you could with the Shield, which would just be like, hey, buy the Shield t-shirt. Instead, you divide them up, and it's three times the money.
Wow. All right,
So, yeah.
now rebuttaling time.
Here's my rebuttal. Again, I don't think Weston understood the question. When it's like they're the stable, it doesn't mean that they're like, okay, they're not wrestling nothing but six-man tags. No, they can actually, you're talking about as individuals, you got three types of merch. Well, as a stable, they got four types of merch. You got Dean Ambrose, you got Roman Reigns, you got Seth Rollins, and you got the Shield as a whole. They'd be like the NWO. They'd be like frickin' DX.
Oh no,
they still would. You still have one guy, can be in the main event while the other two can be, like Dean Ambrose can help out the mid card. Seth Rollins can still be like an upper mid carder, and then you can switch them around. You can let Seth Rollins be in the main event. You can do the other two as a tag team. You can do all sorts of things as them as a stable. They would definitely be like the modern day NWO. And as much as like the fans hate on Roman Reigns, guess what? The last Survivor Series, when the Shield reunited for one night only, the fans were cheering like crazy. They couldn't help but love Roman Reigns whenever it has something to do with the Shield. So might as well just give them what they want and just sell that merch, baby. Because hey, Weston, you're talking about you're a diehard wrestling fan with a casual eyes perspective, and it's all about the business. Hey, guess what? This is best for business. The Shield coming back together, selling merch and selling out places. That's what it's all about. The Shield.
No. Like I said, don't get me wrong. It would be cool to see the Shield return, but it's not really best for business, or at least not the best thing to do for them as a business. That's a weird way to phrase that one. But anyway, yeah, and you were talking about, oh, that's 3 times the merch. No, WWE would never do that. They would
4
just
times the merch.
They would just whatever. They would just make Shield T-shirts. That's it. And we all know that, because WWE doesn't really like for their teams to outshine each other, which is good things or whatnot. But their merch would get repetitive. I mean, shit, all their merch even back in the day was kind of repetitive. All they had was Shield and some weird design.
They had the bandanas and stuff
also,
like that.
and also, if Dean Ambrose was stuck in the Shield, he wouldn't be able to be on Total Divas, which, let's be honest, would get a huge exposure into like a new an audience. It helped Dean Ambrose feel mainstream. And to say that nobody's still doing that when he was in the Shield, that's just preposterous. Look at Roman Reigns, dude. He's gonna be more than likely, and he wouldn't be able to do that if he was still in the Shield. Same things for Seth Rollins. He would not be able to be the face of the company if he was in the Shield. And everything, and the things that Roman and Seth done, at least to like get their name done and more exposure for the company. You can't compare that to what the Shield has done for the company in terms of being mainstream and all that.
Well, Shawn Michaels was the face of the company, and he was in DX. Triple H was the face of the company. He was in DX. So Kevin Nash was the face of his company when he was part of the NWO, part of the Wolf Pack. So, Dean Ambrose can still be in the Total Divas, while at the same time being part of the Shield. It has nothing to do with that. And that they would be selling 4 times the merch, dude. And, yes, they would. Look at again. I go back to DX. I go back to the NWO, the Razor Ramon, the Outsiders T-shirts, the NWO T-shirts, the 6-Pac T-shirts. They could still go in every single.
You gotta remember though, that was a different time. I don't know why it was so hard to say different there, but yeah, that was a different time. And on top of that, none of those guys were like that mainstream to the point where, especially like X-Pac and shit. None of them were like, oh my god, dude. We're talking about him and he's his own brand and shit like that. If you were just like, oh, that's just another guy from whatever the fuck.
And I could bring up also Evolution.
But you're talking about 4 of the best of all time.
And the Shield are one of the best of all time as well.
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. I'm still sticking with my guns. I'm still saying like they're one of the best. You got Seth Rollins, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. You got Roman Reigns, one of the greatest.
I'm gonna quote Chase Oliver here, who's one of my favorite YouTubers. First off, all Dean, Seth, Roman, they're all under the age of 35. And what do we all know? Wrestlers did not reach their prime to the age of 35. Just how it is.
And not just okay, and also that Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins will always have that stigma of being like the Shield guys, no matter what character you give them as individuals. So might as well put them back together and let them shine.
Here's another prime example. Look at guys like Kevin Nash and Razor Ramon. Maybe not Razor Ramon,
have you heard enough?
Hold on, but Kevin Nash, especially Batista, Triple H, all of them were great competitors and were better off, on their own. And, even with the stigma of, oh, they're from Evolution, oh, they're from DX, oh, what was the first guy named? Oh yeah, they were still, they were way more off, even though they had that stigma of being in a faction, a famous tag team.
Have you heard enough, Terrence, already?
Yeah, I think I've heard enough.
All right, make your roll, dude.
Man, me and my questions. God damn it. Oh man, it's not, well, how long has it been? Like what, 45 minutes? I don't know how long. Um, guy made some good points. There's a reason why I chose this question because I wasn't even too sure if this was going to be a question I would use in the first round, let alone the speed round. But you know, hmm, Shield better as as a stable, the better as they were as a stable or as an individual. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and you guys made some good points, but I'm actually gonna go with Weston on this one. I'm gonna go with Weston on this one simply because he mentioned in the fact that even though what Ed said, it talked about the whole shield, these guys will always have a shield stigma. But at the same time, if you look at guys like Batista and Randy Orton who started off in their careers as Evolution, just like the Shield, just like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, who started off with the Shield, they broke off into bigger and better um, superstars later on. And it also, Weston also said, he mentioned that you tend to, instead of having, and he mentioned what was it, something about Seth Rollins, if they were to have all three guys be in a stable, let's say if they were to bring them back or something like that, you would always have people saying that, oh, they're holding them back or something like that. Not a lot of their characteristics as an overall performer would be shown as a team. Some may be shown, but not all. And that's what you can do with when you're just on your own as an individual. You can always market your own brand. You can market three brands instead of one. So, and that's where I would go with Weston though. But I thought that Ed made some really good points here too. So, my point goes to Weston.
Sweet, 2-2, man. There's another slobber knocker match.
Tiffany, what do you think?
Well, it's 3-2, but I'm just saying.
I think that I will go to. He was right. I gotta go with a stable. I'm sorry, man. They
See,
just
that's very
been
predictable.
so.
Very predictable.
Well, I'm sorry because of my opinions being
Well,
predictable.
it's not just your. It's not your
But the
opinion. You're
only
okay with
person
your
that
opinion.
has really done anything, to interest me in a long time is Seth.
Well, Tiffany, let
And
me
they're
explain.
being born together, they'd be better off.
Let me explain
Ever
something.
since.
Let me explain something to you. It's not your opinion. I don't hate your opinion. I
Dude,
respect
Weston,
your opinion.
Weston. Let her finish. Let her finish, Weston.
Just let her.
And they were better off. They were more exciting to see as a Shield. And I'm a big Dean Ambrose fan, dating all the way back to his indie days. But they seem, I don't even know anymore. I mean, he's gotten so boring and so off. Reigns, he's okay. Seth is the only person that has done anything remotely entertaining since they split, in my opinion. And so that matter is that I vote the Shield.
So I just want to say two things. I want to talk to the judge real quick. It's not your opinion that I hate or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just, it's obviously more towards the hardcore fans in his answers. So I know every time, dear, that you're gonna choose him, unless I can someone make a big argument for like something happened in the Indies or he was a smirky wrestler.
Are you
To
getting
be,
jealous?
to be honest, you are kind of fucking with the wrong title. But yeah.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Anyway, sorry about that.
Let's just move on. Let's just move on to the what was it? The fourth question.
To be honest, though, like with Tiffany here, I'm not gonna win anything because she's just gonna go with Ed because Ed caters more towards the hardcore audience.
Dude, I'm just saying my own opinions, dude. I'm not even like trying to
He's
cater to
not.
anything.
He's not even doing anything wrong. No.
I'm just being diplomatic. I'm just going which one had the best opinion. I'm
It's
not like the thing is with I'm gonna go to the fourth question soon. But the way I usually judge this is just whoever had, as Ed would say, since the beginning of this whole thing, is whoever presented their idea the best, that's who I usually go for.
Right.
You know, so I can't really go based on.
But Terrence, this is why I'm kind of getting fucked at the world title. She doesn't really care about what argument you have to make. It's, oh, well, that's the opinion I like, so I'm gonna go with him. He wins.
Well, I thought that's the way you're supposed to have chosen. I apologize.
Anyways. Well,
I'm sorry
I
for
mean,
it.
I mean, if he has a different way, I'm sorry, but that's what I thought.
Like I said, dear, it's fine for you to like what you like. It's just you're fucking me out of the world title, and it's causing me to bury you.
Well,
anyways,
The only person
let's
that's getting buried right now is Weston. So
Oh, shut up.
keep your tears under that dirt.
Like I said, I'm
Anyways.
not gonna win this, but whatever. Like,
anyways,
what a fuck over, dude.
anyways, well, we got what is it 4-2 now? We got 2 more questions to go. You can make a comeback. All right, let's see
No,
here.
I
Let's
can't. Not with Tiffany here, dude. She's always gonna go with Ed just because he caters more to the hardcores. It's fucking pretty.
Just let's get to the.
you know what? Maybe I should go.
No, it's all right. It's all right. You can stay.
Hold on, Tiffany. I don't want you to. Hold on, Ed. Shut up, just for like 2 seconds.
Bye.
Tiffany, I like you and all, but like I said, and this is not drama or anything. You're a cool chick. It's just, you know, you kind of picked the wrong video to come on. Put it that way, because I like for this to be as fair as possible, and it's not. It's not being fair.
It's being.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Dude, even Terrence knows deep down. Even Adam, who's probably gonna watch this, knows this is not fair.
Let's just move on.
let's just move on
not
because
Fuck
This
this
is-
shit, dude. It's not fair. Like I don't even
Alright.
know why I'm staying here, dude. I'm gonna get fucked over worse than Bret Hart.
Speaking of Bret Hart,
Great
speaking of Bret Hart, better match. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold WrestleMania 13, or Triple H versus Undertaker WrestleMania 28.
Who are you going with?
Weston,
first?
I'm going with Weston on this one.
Okay.
Weston, you go.
I already know. I'm gonna pick Triple H and Taker, make somewhat of a good argument. Ed's gonna go with Brett and Sean or whatever the fuck. And,
Sean, whatever.
and I'm gonna lose. Yeah.
I said Brett versus Austin WrestleMania 13.
Brett versus Austin. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm gonna go jump into it, even though I know I'm gonna lose this one.
Come on, let's
Triple H versus Taker. Dude, this is so unfair, dude. This is like a fucking like Royal Rumble, dude. It's like I feel like I drew number 3, dude. Like, and I'm just waiting to be eliminated. That's it.
All right, Weston. Weston.
This feels really fucking fucked over, dude.
Weston. Just answer the question.
Triple H versus Taker. Let's just do it. Let's play along.
Okay. All right. Is that's it? All right.
Well, I'm trying to think of the match. I remember, dude. Same thing for Brett.
Well, the Stone Cold versus Bret Hart match was the submission match for WrestleMania 13, and I'm talking about Triple H versus Undertaker, end of an era, Hell in a Cell, where Shawn Michaels was a special guest referee. How do you not remember?
Yeah, I remember Crowbar, dude. Let's talk about Crowbar.
Oh, good God.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You know what? I'll change the question, man, because this sounds like more of a speed round question.
Actually, didn't me and Ed actually agree that question was kind of lame?
You know what? Both of you guys are lame. I'll choose a different one.
I remember me talking, and he's like, "Man, why does he ask me like who's the best?"
You know,
WrestleMania 20 versus or WrestleMania 25.
you know, this is coming from the same guy who said it. Who was the better overall performer, Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy? From the last debate. Come on. But anyways, I'll choose a different. I have a couple more. All right, let's go with this
By
one.
the way, that was actually Ed's question, by the way. So.
Anyways, whatever. Um,
But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's go ahead and get on with
uh,
the show.
if you had to choose one person to represent WWE as the face of your company and why, out of the current
Easy.
roster, including NXT.
See, this question's good right here. I love this question. Why can't we have more
Uh,
questions like this?
actually, we have questions like this. It's called the last three questions.
All right. What was the
So,
question again? If you could pick
oh,
a new
good,
face of
good.
the company, including
Yes.
NXT.
Who out of the current roster you have?
Me and Ed talked about this question, and I believe, if I remember correctly, I was going with Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Is that it, or did you have anything else to say about Roman Reigns?
Well, I already know who you're picking, so I don't want it to be awkward and just bury your pick, and then go on and just feel awkward with that type of booking. So I'll just say, okay, anyway, Ed's going with Kevin Owens. So yeah,
Yeah,
spoiler
I'm
alert.
picking Kevin Owens. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So here we go. Roman Reigns would be better than well, fuck. I'm gonna easy. Fuck it. See, this is why you shouldn't answer the question before you come on the show. Anyway, yeah. Roman Reigns is he's more marketable. He's a better wrestler. Fans are more invested in him than Kevin Owens. He's more entertaining. And on top of that, there's so much. Roman Reigns is more flexible as a character, as we've seen already in this booking. You can put him in the mid card. He'll help the mid card like he did with the U.S. title. Put him in the main event. He fits in. So he can be a main eventer or a mid carder. He's more flexible as a wrestler. This is really awkward. You know the other person's answer. I never really imagined that. But yeah, fuck it. Just go ahead. And explain.
That's not
Okay.
good. But okay.
I did make my point. It's not like I didn't explain why. He's more marketable. He's more flexible on the roster. And on top of that, like he can be in movies and shit. So. Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. What about you, Ed?
Okay. I got just one question for Weston before I, defend Kevin Owens. And okay. My question is well, actually, two questions. Is Raw the flagship show?
Yeah, actually, it is.
Okay. Second is who does Raw cater to right now?
Mainly hardcores, but Roman Reigns is there because maybe WWE thought they would get him over with more of the hardcore, which is kind of true when you think about it, because hardcores do react to him and they're most passionate about him, probably the most out of anyone on the roster, unless a part-timer shows up.
Okay. Here's my point. Is that right now it is targeted towards the hardcore fans, and who is the ultimate hardcore fan darling? Kevin Owens. Everybody's been praising him ever since he, signed with the WWE. Everybody pretty much said that he's the closest thing that we got to CM Punk, which is the guy that everybody's chanting for in every live event and every show. As the face of the company, and as the face of the company, and the operative word being the face, okay, being the baby face, the top baby face, the top draw. Kevin Owens is definitely that as a baby face, because as a heel, he's getting cheered. Cheered like crazy. He's like, when the, it reminds me a lot of The Rock back in '98 when he was a heel, a part of the nation, and people were just waiting and begging for him to turn babyface because they really wanted to cheer him on. Same thing with Kevin Owens. Yeah, people love Kevin Owens. And he has that great story about him doing whatever it takes to, to provide for his family. And I was invested. Everybody was invested in his first takeover match. Everybody was invested into him. And at the end of the night, where he turned on Sami Zayn, people hated him right away. So he's the perfect guy to be in every role that you want him to be in. He can be a comedy act. He can be he can be the main eventer. He can be the top guy. He can be the top draw. He can cut promos. He can cut his own promos. He's a great, he can get people invested in whatever he's saying, and more importantly, whatever he's doing. He has a great following, and they're very passionate, and they're very, very passionate on his side, not very passionate against him, and which makes him the perfect babyface. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say about Kevin Owens right now.
Rebuttal.
Which this should be really easy. So you're telling me Kevin Owens is so great that his Universal title was immediately rejected by the hardcore fans? Even the hardcore fans, which I said, are invested in Kevin Owens. Even they admitted, oh my god, this dude has a main event is fucking garbage. And also, with Roman Reigns, like I said, he can get the main card of the main eventer, doesn't care. And by the way, being hated doesn't really mean that much. Think about wrestling here, Mr. Ed, is that as long as you're getting a reaction.
Speak up, Weston.
The thing about wrestling, Mr. Ed, is that being hated doesn't really matter, actually. What matters is getting eyes on the product and getting people to talk about you no matter where you go, which Roman Reigns does. Owens doesn't, bitch. So,
What?
yeah. and also, Kevin Owens, can you imagine this guy being on a magazine? Can you imagine this guy being headlining a show? Fuck no, dude. The dude looks like a fucking, let's be honest, he looks like a fucking decent mid-carder at fucking best. And unlike Roman Reigns, who looks believable, who looks like a complete badass. Kevin Owens, who does he look like? He looks like the dude that would fucking steal your cheesecake from the fridge in the middle of the night. And also, he's too fucking small. Add on to that. And also, let's be honest, if it wasn't for Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens wouldn't even be relevant right now, in all honesty. He would just be another guy wrestling on the show. And oh yeah, probably be catered to hardcore fans instead of done. Like I said, the hardcore fans actually, whether they want to admit it or not, they give more of a fuck about Roman Reigns than they do Kevin Owens. And also, Raw, let's be honest, if Kevin Owens left, nothing would really happen. Nobody really cared. Nothing would really happen. But if Roman Reigns left, that's the guy that could have been the potential face of your company.
You're kind of being a bit choppy a little bit.
Fuck.
He's
I don't know,
getting
it's-
buried by his own mic.
Like I can hear him. Like I can actually hear him. Yeah,
Better?
perfect. Yeah,
Say
perfect.
your
Alright,
last
anyway,
time.
my last point was, if Kevin Owens left Raw, it wouldn't really hurt the company at all. But if Roman Reigns left the company, there's a potential, there's your potential baby face that you just let walk out the fucking
Okay. Kevin Owens, as soon as he signed with NXT, he was one of the highest merch sellers, and he still is. Okay. Second of all, okay, bitch. When you get a reaction as a babyface, you get a positive reaction. That's what makes you the top draw. And Kevin Owens will get that once he's the babyface. As a heel, he's getting a huge reaction. He's still being considered as one of the greatest promo cutters right now. And not just that, but you're talking about, oh, he's fat. He doesn't look like a champion. Dusty Rhodes, remember him? Remember Mick Foley? Remember those legends? Remember those dudes? Yeah. Okay. Roman Reigns, just because he looks good. Well, Lex Luger looked good. Where did that take him? Just because the dude looks, the part doesn't mean he can be that part. Okay. And I do say, like, yeah, Roman Reigns can be that part one day, but not right now, because you talk about like failed championships. Let's talk about Roman Reigns' championship reigns, shall we? He won the world title, Survivor Series, got fucked over many times because WWE didn't know what to do with him. They're like, should he be in the main event, or should he be chasing the title? Which got the fans to boo him like crazy and just be like, no, we don't give a shit. And it resulting into one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time, WrestleMania 32, him against Triple H, with the fans just backlashing against that main event, and to the point where even casual fans are even looking at us and like, why the fuck are they looking at this? Why are they watching this? Why are they paying their hard-earned dollars to watch this shit? So they pretty much look at us as being pretty much suicidal for the fact that we're watching something that we don't like. But as for Kevin Owens, dude made a splash as soon as he came in. He can definitely be the guy that can be on top. He's relatable. He can go on interviews and be like, yeah, I had a hard, I've had a, hard childhood growing up, and he could have, bring up everything from his past, and he would be that relatable, because that's what it's all about right now. You got the anti-bully campaign, you got different, charities. Kevin Owens is relatable in that sense, so he can go in these different types of avenues, which WWE are really focused on. Stephanie always said philanthropy is key when it comes to a successful business. Kevin Owens is that key to actually be the mascot of that of philanthropy when it comes to WWE. So that's the reason why I'm going with Kevin Owens.
Roman Reigns, I believe, did a Make-A-Wish not too long ago or something like that. And also, I'm gonna give you.
Everybody makes a Make-A-Wish. That doesn't count.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a good point, dude. This is gonna be the fucking end game right here. I'm about to make your own fucking thing commit suicide. Your fucking debate. Hold on here a minute. I'm getting on the good camera so you can see. Yeah, I'm about to fucking explode in this bitch, motherfucker.
You're about to implode, not explode.
Probably. You'll see what I mean in a minute. All right, I'm gonna stay on the hangout on this one, but I'm gonna get on my phone. I just want you to get a good view of this.
So, what are we supposed to wait for?
The grand finale.
There's the same dude that said that Roman Reigns can't even lead a faction, a new Four Horsemen faction. And how is he about to? How can he actually lead, a company if that's the case? Oh, there he is.
Look at me, motherfucker. Look at me. Look at this body. I am shirtless right now.
Oh my god.
Look at this body. Does this look like a main eventer to you? Do I look like a main eventer to you? Look at this.
Please don't pull on you.
Is this a main eventer to you? Are you telling me, looking like this, I can be a main eventer in pro wrestling? And you know what? That's another reason why people hate hate Kevin Owens. It's because he doesn't look like an actual fighter. He doesn't look like a badass. So by saying that he's badass, you're telling me a fat dude, just like Kevin Owens, could be in the main event. That's literally what you're saying. I could be in the main event. That's literally what Ed is saying. This fat motherfucker right here.
Daniel Bryan was in the main event. Rey Mysterio was in the main event.
They weren't fat, motherfucker.
They still were tiny compared to everybody else.
That's not the point.
What is your point then? You're talking about cosmetics. What the fuck?
Ray and Rhino look cool. Look like badasses.
All right, I'm done looking at him, dude. Fuck, I'm about to throw up.
All right, it's all right. I'm about to get off anyway.
This was a respectable show before what just happened.
I think I've seen enough people taking off their clothes and being nude for one day.
Oh my God. Sorry about this, Stephanie, by the way.
This is not PG.
Oh, I'm not paying attention. I'm not even seeing that, so.
Oh, thank God. I envy you.
Oh, good God.
Oh my God.
Big time, big time.
You look like the newborn baby.
Behind. Big time. Oh, behind.
Big time. Okay, what's your final point?
My final point is, if you're saying that Kevin Owens is a main eventer because he's fat, which means he's relatable, then that means I can be a main eventer too, motherfucker. Which in that case means pro wrestling go down in the fucking toilet. Because that would mean anyone can fucking wrestle.
Fuck, Dusty Rhodes was like the biggest sell in the 70s and the 80s. Fuck, dude.
Kick him. Dusty Rhodes,
It all
Kevin Owens.
depends on how you're booked, motherfucker.
Dusty Rhodes.
Jeez.
Dusty Rhodes is a believable character. He had charisma and personality, but Kevin Owens could
Fuck.
he
Dude,
keeps getting that.
Perception is reality. That's the reason why Shawn Michaels was able to go toe-to-toe with 7-footers every single night.
Yeah, but but Shawn Michaels also looked believable, and he was athletic.
So was Kevin Owens against John Cena.
No. No,
Fuck.
he doesn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Believable.
Fuck. Dude, going toe-to-toe with him and actually being on the same level and just going, fast-paced like a freaking cruiserweight in the ring. Fuck. That just... Dude, Terrence, just make a ruling. I have nothing else to say.
All right, I'll make a.
Ed officially said I could be in the main event. Thank you, Ed. Yeah.
Huh?
Well,
You can
you're
say you're
6'4", so
Yeah, but I'm pretty fucking fat, dude.
so was Big Show at one point. He still main evented.
Because he looked believable, he was a monster.
Fuck, jeez, Terrence, please,
And he
please.
was more
We're going nowhere with this dude.
And he
I
was more
think
shape than
I think everything went down south once Weston almost started pulling Sean's view. No, I'm just kidding.
I would never go that far. I don't give a fuck how I would never go that far. Yeah.
I know. You have more decency than that shit. But this was weird. I never knew this was gonna go that far. Good God.
By the way, hashtag Porn Friday, dude. Everyone should keep their clothes on.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Wait, okay, so let me see here. Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns. Two good choices. I'm not gonna lie, two good choices. You know, guys made some good points. I'm gonna go with Ed on this one.
What?
Yes, I'm gonna go with Ed on this
Are
one.
you fucking high?
Yes, I am high. I'm high with intelligence and all that other crap.
You know what, Ed? If you ever run a promotion, why don't you let Owens? If you ever get as big as WWE, why don't you let
It
Owens
has
manifest
nothing
your
to
company
do
and
with
see if they can go down
promotions.
the
It
road?
has to do with
But-
the WWE product right now. You agreed.
The thing
You
is,
said-
but
Are you kidding me?
but here's the thing though, and it's not like here's the thing why I say Ed wins in this particular question. It's not what Ed said, it's what you said. This is where actually what you said kind of bite in the ass, and it's like the first thing that what you said on camera. You said that the reason why people hate Kevin Owens, which first off, like you said, like what Ed said, even when Kevin Owens is a heel, people cheer him, right? And you said that people hate Kevin
But that
Owens
doesn't mean he
because
can be the face of the company. Look at Zack Ryder. He gets cheers.
but by that
What the
logic,
fuck,
you're
dude?
also saying that Roman Reigns is a baby face. He's still getting booed out of the building. I'm just saying.
My
It
point
works,
is,
but
my point is, no matter what, if he's face or heel, people are gonna care about what Roman Reigns does. This is fucking
And-
bullshit, dude. This
and
entire
also,
debate was a
and
fucking,
also, you
this is
kind
the
of, and
fucking
also,
Texas screw job.
and also, in some cases, you kind of basically fat shamed yourself and Kevin Owens. I'm not gonna lie, like you're basically implying that if you have to be, you have to have a body type like Roman Reigns in order to be the face of the company, which isn't true. You know, just look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. Do you think he was like a bodybuilder type? I don't think so.
He looked like a badass. What are you guys stupid? Do you not hear what's coming out of my mouth? Because it seems like I'm trying to say one thing and you guys understand another.
Oh fuck. Tiffany, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going based on the arguments here. I'm not going based off I'm not going what opinion that I like more. I'm going which one considering their ideas better.
Well, at least you're more believable than others.
All right.
But I mean,
All
still.
right.
I'm not
Tiffany,
being biased.
Tiffany, what do you
I'm not
think?
being biased. Like, trust me, I am not being biased.
I know, Terrence. That's what I just said. I said at least you're like believable as a judge.
Personally,
But
Personally,
still, I'm confused.
Okay.
personally,
So
I would actually go with friggin' Reigns too, but I'm just saying, if I were to just choose just based off of my preference, that would be unfair. But it is what it is.
all right, all right. Okay. Tiffany, what do you think?
Of course, he
Um,
wants to know what he thinks because
Dude,
hmm,
just let her speak.
I will.
I don't even know what to say anymore because everybody got me thrown off earlier. But I think that maybe I should go with that because you did fat shame Kevin Owens.
Oh wow! What a
But
fucking shock. Oh okay.
but at the end of the day, I really do see eventually that the fans will get behind Roman Reigns. For real, but not today and not in the near future. So,
What's your point? Who do you think won?
hmm. I think you did, Ed. I'm
Yeah.
trying to
See.
think long and hard. Trying to think because, yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know how to go about it because I like both really, but um, Kevin Owens is a pretty good baby face, so I'll go with that.
All right.
I can't
So
say
basic. So
this whole debate is bullshit. I demand a fucking.
so
It's literally
well,
talking without.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like
because
trust.
how can Roman Reigns represent a company right now for real at the position he's at with the
It's not
fans?
about
Come
right
on.
now, Tiffany. It's about now and the future. You can't just take now into consideration.
Well, anyways,
No,
right
no,
now,
maybe down the
right now,
road, maybe.
well, right
It's
now,
kind of iffy.
I'm not gonna
well,
lie. When you talk, you bring me a Consuelo from Family Guy. No, no, Mr. Peter, no.
All right. So what's the next question, Terrence?
to be quite honest, right now it's 6-2. It's gonna be the last question, to be quite honest with you. But I don't. I think there's no point in doing a last question because even if Weston has the extra 2 points, you're still gonna be ahead by two. So,
Let me make two questions. Well, you see here, Ed wins because he named something I like and understand. So yeah, Ed wins.
yeah, I was just gonna about to say. I'll just say, Ed, here's your winner, and still the Desire of Wrestling champion, Ed.
Thank you.
So yeah,
This is completely unexpected. I didn't even think that
Ed,
this would
stop
actually
selling
happen.
it. Ed, stop selling it. We all know you try to you try to politic your way. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm,
uh,
I'm in tears right now.
so yes, so that is basically it. The final score is 6-2. Uh, uh, personally, um, I actually enjoyed the last debate between you two guys better because I actually started laughing my ass off with some of those questions that I sent. And Adam was
Mhm.
there because I could have easily roasted that guy. Adam, what a guy.
Yeah. Oh, so
It,
yeah. So but this was still a lot of fun. There's
wa-
some good moments, especially the early questions.
yeah, yeah. But at least we got next week's match. I get to face the champ. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to facing actual competition, and that is Terrence. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. I think everybody brought their A game. Weston, no need to be a crybaby. Come on, let's hug it out.
Oh, you knew what you were doing, you fucking gay retard.
And that's all right. All right, I'll take that as part of the heat of the battle. Um, I'll be a gracious winner. So yeah, this was a lot of fun.
This
Wow,
was
my
this was
championship looks
fun.
really beautiful right now.
This was fun though, and trust me, I was 100% fair.
Mhm.
Because I always go with the rules that Ed said in the beginning. I always go with the person who presented their argument the best. That's the rules of the game.
Let's
You
be
know,
honest though, especially with the fucking like, playing politics, making sure like this one judge goes his way every fucking time.
Oh man,
anyways,
you
we'll
sound like Ryback right now, by the way.
anyways, let's
I'm
talk
demanding.
about this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this off air. Ed, you want to sign
Yeah.
us out?
Sure. This was a lot of fun. I'm still the champion, Terrence. I'm looking forward to next week where we'll have our debate. Tiffany, you were wonderful on this show as well. Weston, even though you're a crybaby, I'll. This was still a lot of fun.
I gotta clear this up. I have no problem with her. She's a good person. I like her, but she's just too big of a smart for her own good.
You just you just keep
sign off.
keep.
Just sign off. Let's just talk about this offline.
All right, and we're out.